top 10 video games of all time. The same top 10 as Microsoft and Sony had a little warfare shit. Nowadays, if I go non-online
It's a kid. Bro, I swear they got so good at their finisher design. They started factoring like massive. So the best one I saw from Dead or Alive 5. And right as it looks like Rasengan, and then he hits him with
Okay.
games. I swear, no matter how many times you play through the game, you always like, and then now, especially on PC, the amount of mods. Bro, my favorite mod is the Teletubbies. All the zombies get turned into Teletubbies. That's my
I will have to go NBA 2K. This is basically 2K's step up of NBA Live. And that was the goal, is to basically play team versus team online. Exhibition games, basically people online where there was no none of the songs made sense, but they were
probably heard. Space, and now you have space. What is there not to like about that? You could run on the walls, you could run on the ceilings. The first initial warframes that they some of them have the bad habit of, oh, we need to get as much money on it as possible. A lot.
besides like and this is why I'm kind of upset when I look at my own system, like the Sega. 92. If you get hit by a charge up, you automatically.
Season 3, in my opinion, was the golden era of that game. There was no meta.
Hold on. Should be on. Oh, there. My bad. I didn't know the audio was on the entire time. That's crazy. All right, we're good.
All right. So the reason why it's on my list is because Season 3 of League of Legends was the golden era.
Appreciate y'all.
There was no meta. There was no preferred build you had to go. You didn't have to play a certain champion. No one took it that seriously. It was just fun. You could build 5 Phantom Dancers and somehow still be pretty effective in the game. You could stack Black Cleavers. You could stack Forces of Natures or Sunfires. It was just dumb and silly, but still fun. And you could do whatever you wanted. Now, it's gimmicky. There's all this meta bullshit. Items are broken. Champions are broken. They don't fix it. And it's super sweaty, which kind of ruined the fun factor of the game.
That's valid. That's valid. Okay. For number 7, I'm gonna have to go Gears of War.
Okay.
Gears of War was one of the first graphic games I ever played on Xbox. Like the story was great. Like it was not one of those, like, oh, the hero saved the day, everything's fine. Nah, it was like, yo, y'all thought it was good. Now we coming back. Like that was literally Gears of War's whole thing was we thought we was the shit, and we get folded again, right? They killed off certain characters that we all loved. Like you see other characters get old as shit. Like Gears of War overall is just so, and then online was so good, right? Because it was. People don't realize this. Online Gears of War was completely skill based, right? It didn't matter what gun you had. If you could not use your gun, that was it. Like I can have a normal pistol, right? And if I outmaneuver you, right, I'm killing you. Like that was just basically it. You know what I'm saying? I have so many memories with the game. I used to run around chainsawing people. That shit going yeah. That was tough. It definitely was one of the staples for Xbox. So Gears of War, definitely my number 7.
Okay, all right. Number 6 on my list. I was gonna make it the Grand Theft Auto series, but I just focused on GTA 5. So I love GTA 4 a lot, and I love the online play, but there wasn't as much freedom. But as much as how much GTA 5 offered, you could truly make your own character. You could buy your own place now. You can have your own customized cars and vehicles. There's a lot of freedom. You could just run around with your friends all day doing whatever you wanted, and it was great. But like all games, they fell prey to microtransactions because they got a lot of deep shit over that.
Yeah.
It's too gimmicky now, and the game has become too chaotic at this point.
Yeah, they got flying motorcycles and shit now.
Yeah, it used to be like there's a few power vehicles you could have, but you didn't whip them out all the time because there's like, there's not really a point.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, that's a dirt bike that for some reason has like 50 missiles on it, and you're like, huh? They like, it's most of the time when you jump into a server, Like, there's like a 75% chance that all of a sudden you're just gonna get blown up by someone with some stupid new gimmick vehicle that you didn't even know existed because you stopped playing for like a month. Or there's just too many different odd jobs and stuff you need to get access to. But in order to access them, you got to buy some vehicle that costs $20 million for some reason. And unless you have hours to grind the game and actually earn the cash, which they nerfed to make it even harder to earn money, you got to spend real money to actually get it. So they just shot themselves in the foot and like hurt the fun factor of the game.
Okay. This is probably the only time I'll have a number with you, but I'm gonna go series instead.
Okay.
Right. Vice City was probably the most memorable and probably the first GTA for a lot of people. Right. After Vice City, San Andreas is just phenomenal. Right. Like the story was nice. It wasn't you weren't like no mafia dude anymore. You was actually a gang member. Somebody's theory actually is that all the GTAs accumulated into the three characters of GTA 5. Right, Franklin's from Grove Street.
True.
Right, so that's San Andreas. Michael's supposed to be like Vice City. I forgot what Trevor's supposed to be. But there's that each one you don't get bored playing each one. You just don't. Right, like that. Even the one on PS1 where it's like overhead and you're a dot and you're like shooting people.
Yeah,
that was tough. Right, that was nice. GTA 5 started off so good. I still remember I bought it right before I got into college, right? Actually, no, right when I got to college, I bought it. I'm playing with my boys online and everything, and it was perfect. Like, it was perfect, bro. Like, you do missions together, everything like that. But like you said, like, everybody started to find money codes, cheat codes, all that stuff for online.
Bro, but that was okay, though.
No, it wasn't. Okay. No, it wasn't, dog.
No, the money cheats, bro.
No. Because when the money cheats happened, they started to establish clubs, like motorcycle clubs and shit. And that started to give them access to those special types of fucking weapons and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That was I would say, the Nexus event, right? Like, that was the Nexus event that led to everything happening. Apparently they're gonna remake San Andreas and all that stuff, so I'm definitely gonna play that. But yeah, GTA definitely has to be up there. Like, even if you hated the story or something, still is one of the top games ever. That's definitely so. That's number 6.
Number 5 for me.
Hold on. Before you start your number 5, give us 3 games that's not gonna be in your number 5 that you wish could be in your number 5.
3? Oh man.
You don't gotta describe them. You just gotta say the titles.
Okay.
3 games.
Kirby Nightmare from Dreamland or Return to Dreamland. Okay. I mean, that was a classic when I played.
Okay.
Mario Kart, classic game. Everyone's played it. Hard love. And Metroid Fusion on Game Boy Advance.
Okay. I got you. Mario Kart, you already know.
All right.
Pokemon Original.
Okay.
Right? And I mean, I'm gonna put the series as one because I loved every Pokemon from first gen to Diamond and Pearl. Right? But the emphasis for me personally, the emphasis was from first gen to Ruby and Sapphire. The last Pokemon where I bought it in GameStop or Target or whatever, and it was fresh off the packaging. It's a Game Boy Advance, right? Was fucking Ruby, and Ruby it just looked so nice. Like the packaging so nice with Groudon.
That's when they had the cool game cartridges too. Like they had the translucent red and blue.
Yep.
Yeah, those were nice.
So when you had that, and then at the same time, all your friends had it. It wasn't like the next gen after where it's like Diamond and Pearl. Oh, you need to have a DS and shit. No, everybody had a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy SP. Everybody started their new game at the same time, right? And I know y'all did this before. When your friends were over, right, and y'all didn't have no cable link or none of that shit, right? You both started your game. You guys already had your game. You already beat the Elite Four. You both started a new game without saving to see who can get further faster.
Yeah.
right? That's how those yo, where were you? I already faced Groudon. Where you at? Oh, I just beat Delete Four. What? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy how it is because you made sure you named your rival after each other. Um, you didn't pick the same Pokemon, right? You didn't pick the if you picked Trico, the other person picked Torchic. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it went. So definitely that. So top five.
All right. Number 5 on my list is the first Battlefield game I ever played. Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Damn.
Now, 1, great campaign. Love the campaign. 2, you play Battlefield, you know destructible environments are a big part of it. At the time, I don't think there were any other games on Battlefield that actually factored in destroyable environments like that. And bro, when I say you could like people like to talk about COD, like especially Modern Warfare with like one man army, bro. In Battlefield Bad Company 2, if you were good, you were untouchable. No one could touch you. You could 1v5 a squad with no problem. I didn't need no perks. It was just raw talent. Someone hold up in a building, bro. I had a grenade launcher on my assault rifle. I would blow the wall open and kill them. Like it was. I used to play with my cousin all the time. We used to play all the time, all the time. And almost every game, we'd be at the top of our lobbies with like 50 plus kills, just mowing down people, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, it was so fun. But that's on my number 5.
Number 5, bro. Call of Duty. Black Ops 1 and 2.
I hear you.
The best zombies, the best multiplayer, the best story, the best kill streaks, the best graphics in my opinion. Alright, the least glitchy, the across the map tomahawks, right? This I think Black Ops 2 is where people start to truly stream Black Ops.
Yeah. Yep.
You know.
You're right.
Hold up. I will be back. Discuss your number 4.
Number 4 for me, believe it or not, actually, I actually pushed it up. For me, Black Ops 1 and 2 are number 4 on my list. Now, first of all, Black Ops 1, just because the storyline alone in Black Ops 1 was amazing. Number 2, Ice Cube. Everybody love Ice Cube. Ice Cube was in that. Number 3, the multiplayer for Black Ops was, in my opinion, probably the most balanced out of any COD ever. Like in Black Ops 1, you had to be good. There was no perks to save you. There was no quick scoping to save you. If you were bad in Black Ops, you got dumpstered by everyone you ran into. Like there was nothing to save you. You had to get good to be good. And that's what I loved about it. It was the most balanced game.
You said Black Ops was it?
Yeah, Black Ops 1.
Okay.
In my opinion. And then, like with a comma, Black Ops 2 was also in the same spot. But Black Ops 2, in my opinion, had the best fun factor. It introduced a lot of cool new gadgets, new kill streaks.
Definitely.
And that just made the game so fun.
It was a perfect
almost perfect
future adaptation of Black Ops 1. You know how I think it was Advanced Warfare that tries to go too futuristic. Like, hey, you have like jetpacks and can walk on walls.
Yep.
No, we don't want that. We want boots to the ground, calling the dogs type shit, bro. Like I think a Black Hawk on one was a VTOL on another. I forgot what it's called. Like a satellite. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
but
it was a good adaptation.
But what killed Black Ops 2 for me was the quick scoping. Like, they made one in Black Ops 1, you might run into a quick scope every like 10 or 15 matches. And if you were quick scoping in Black Ops 1, you know that person was good as hell. In Black Ops 2, that shit became cancer, bro. Like every lobby, it's like, oh, I got the job of this guy. Bloop, done, dead. Doesn't matter. He quick scoped you.
I'm upset because Yachty, my boy QC, and all of them made a quick scoping clan,
bro.
Right, so they would go into lobbies and quick scope motherfuckers talk their shit. I just would join and just fuck shit up with Mac 11. Honestly, I always love to use guns that nobody else was using.
You know what my go-to was in Black Ops 2?
What?
The KSG, that slug shotgun.
Yeah, yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
that joke, that was a great gun.
Fam, hear me out. Look, you guys, Yachty and everybody. These are my 3 weapons, right? The second one's a secondary, so technically it doesn't count as a third weapon, but you know what I mean. It was the Mac 11, one of the weakest guns in the game, but the most stable. Motherfuckers ain't realize that. So when you saw me or I saw you, I'm shooting you first, and I'm shooting you faster. That's number 1. Number 2, the FAL, F-A-L, right? Or you can go the carbine, the trigger finger gun, right? People used to accuse me of having a mod because when I used to shoot at people, all you hear, like I would fucking go ham on it. But number 3 was the rocket launcher.
The small,
bro, the small, yeah, bro.
Yep.
The worst part is, right, for the enemy team, they were always pissed. Why? Because as soon as you heard enemy spy plane inbound, that shit was gone. That shit was gone. You was not spying on nobody, bro.
Yep.
There ain't no radar or nothing. Oh, enemy helicopter. No, there's not. I'll see some smoke. You know what I'm saying? That definitely that.
I mean, for me, my number 1 was the KSG. My number 2 was a Scorpion Evo SMG with rapid fire and extended mags because it already had a dumb fire rate.
Yeah, I remember the Scorpion.
So then you just put rapid fire. It was stupid. Anybody who ran up to you close was dead in 2 seconds. They couldn't do anything.
Okay.
And my number 3 was the AUG assault rifle.
The AUG was nice.
The AUG was my favorite.
The Galil was fun, but the AUG is nice.
The AUG had
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So that was number 4 for you, right?
Correct.
Number 4 for me, I'm gonna have to go SmackDown versus Raw, 2007. Okay. Right?
Okay.
This was, in my opinion, peak WWE games because the storylines were good. This is when you actually got to see every legend that actually is worth a damn. Right? This is still when Chris Benoit was still part of the story. This was when Undertaker was still in his prime, technically. Right? Cena and Batista were the faces of the company. Like, you just had so much. DX came back. Like, you just had so much shit. So your boys, everybody would make characters on it, right? And then you play the story to get your overalls up. And then we would stay up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, wake up 9 o'clock the next day, like, yo, let's go back, playing Hell in a Cell, all that stuff, right? And then you would make stables with each other, right? You come out together in one entrance and shit, right? You'll probably put like a DX entrance animation, but then the music would probably be like John Cena's or some shit. Like, it was just tough. But the best thing of all is that they didn't have to try too hard, right? It felt like an actual video game. It didn't feel like, oh, we need to make it as real as possible. No, it felt like motherfuckers was just playing a video game, right? That's how it is. Once you get to 2008, you can kind of see that they're starting to go with the whole, let's try to make it as real as possible. No, we don't want that shit. If I wanted to see real, I would just watch it on TV. Right? I want to be able to lift somebody up 10 feet in the air and drop their ass, right? They neck broke it and shit, but they get back up. I want to see shit like that, right? That's what happened too. Yo, I could look at it right now. When you toss people off the Hell in a Cell, and they hit the floor, kid you not, they landed on their heads, bro, and it was like they fell, and this is all you see. This is the animation, boom, and they was like that. It was like their whole body was contorted. It was gone. It was gone. If this was an actual person in real life, they was gone. Nowadays, you toss somebody off of Hell in a Cell, I don't even think they allow it anymore either. But you toss somebody off the cell, and that's it. They just fall and doom. It's like, no, I want to see necks broken. You know what I mean?
Isn't that when they also they had the I guess the damage chart, and like depending on how much
or what your
injuries were, your character would react to it.
Yep.
So it's like if you had a lot of head injuries, sometimes your character would just stop and like grab their head.
They grab their head. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's exactly how it was. So definitely, Raw vs. SmackDown 2007, number 4.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We're going in the top 3, y'all. We're going in the top 3.
Top 3 for me.
Let's get it.
It's Gears of War.
Oh, he's
1 through 3.
Okay.
1 through 3. Only 1 through 3.
Oh, now, you want 4 and 5.
Gears of War for me as like for you, it was the first like I mean really violent game I ever played.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first chainsawed someone, I paused the game and like had to take a walk for a second because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that kind of gore. But plot, you end up loving him. Marcus, Dom, my man, Coltrane. Everyone loved Coltrane, bro.
Coltrane,
He
yep.
was
Everybody
hilarious.
love Coltrane.
Also, it was nice to see like a legit black guy in the game. You're like, oh shit, representation. Enemies were tough.
A black
The
guy
weapons
that only plays football and shit and got to fucked
kind of
himself in the
stereotype.
third.
Kind of
Yeah,
stereotype.
yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Goddamn.
But also, in my opinion, Gears of War, besides the gore, like the first one was actually, I would say, genuinely scary with some of the enemies you had to fight. Like the game atmosphere was terrifying. Like I remember the most terrifying two levels. The first one was when everything was dark and you had to deal with those flying things, the krill. And if
Yep.
you walked through the dark, they would just eat you and kill
Yep.
you.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
That was scary as shit because like throughout the levels, they would have like an earthquake happen and the lights go out. And you're like, oh shit, I gotta get out this room now, or they come and kill you. And the second level in Gears of War, that was terrifying, was when you had to kill the berserker, but you had to lure it outside first. None of your guns worked, none of your grenades worked, and if it hit you, it killed you like that. That was it.
It ran you straight over.
Yep. It would hit you and then it'd walk over to your body and just and just murk you. That was it.
That's the thing you gotta admit though for Gears 3. Them putting they put a mode where you're the monster.
Oh, horde mode. Horde mode. That was another great.
And then
Horde mode
no horde wasn't horde when you killed the horde, right?
The waves. You're right. You're right.
The other one was
that versus.
It was basically the switch around. Instead of you guys destroying the horde, you're now the horde.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you had to work your way up depending
that was
on
in Gears of War 3 they added it.
That was
right.
in 3,
yeah,
yep. The more you killed things and killed all these fortifications and all that stuff,
the
higher you went to the point where you could get a berserker. And you saw what the berserker saw, and you could understand why the berserker kept missing you. Because his whole vision is blurred. Yeah. Like everything is blurred. So you mostly just charge in a straight line hoping you hit something. Kid you not. Like that, I'll give you that. That's what I love about Gears though.
Yeah. Great plot, excellent replay value, awesome villains. Like I can't count the amount of times I played through the campaigns in all those games. Now 4 and 5, I think is there Gears of War 6 now? I'm pretty sure it's 6. No, is it just 4 and 5?
It's tactics now. It's Gears of War 4, 5, and then tactics.
Like those games, in my opinion, they just weren't the same. Like that's when they started to try like a little bit of new stuff, and I was like, it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, I think personally, it's only because of the fact that like they left the old story behind, right?
Yeah.
So now it's the new generation, all that stuff, and nobody really wanted a new generation, like you know what I'm saying, like, but it's understandable. Like you have to continue the story somehow, some way.
Yeah.
You know,
I got you.
So that's fine. My number 3, top 3 games of all time. My number 3 is NBA Street Volume 2.
Bro, I wanted to put that on my list.
Yeah, NBA Street Volume 2 is one of my top 3 games I have ever played. That game, no matter, mind you, looking back, the game was simple. Score 21, have fun doing it. That was simple. You know how many games are out right now that do the same thing, but they don't hit the same. Right, you had Shaq breaking backboards, your game breaker was some crazy shit where they like duck behind the hoop and toss the shit up. Right, the other dude's like in the air and then he tossed his shit up, and then the dude behind him's like, oh, I'm about to dunk it. Then he bounces to the dude on the left and he shoots a 3. Like that was a game breaker, dog. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that shit there, you just couldn't be bored.
The challenges were cool.
Oh my god! And then
it's like getting like 10 crossovers in a round. You're like, oh, all right, word, all right.
Yo, and then again, it's another game where you made a character too. So you and your character couldn't be good off rip. Your character had to grind through the game in order to be good. But the funniest part that I have with that game, that story, is I have a knack for like, give me 3 days with a game I've never played. I bet you I could beat whoever gave me the game, right? My boy QC was like destroying everybody in the neighborhood, basically in NBA Street, right? I told him, yo, let me use this for the night, right? on the GameCube. He's like, all right, I got you right. This man came back, couldn't beat me again, bro. Couldn't beat me again. I got a level 1 game breaker off the first 2 points, and that shit was hilarious, bro. Like that shit's fucking dog. Oh my god,
You can unlock Street Legends. That part was dope. It's like, oh, you want Dr. J on your team? No problem. Beat his team and recruit him.
Yeah, and best soundtrack ever, dog.
Bro,
Chief
the opening
Rocker,
soundtrack of that song Reminisce.
They reminisce, yeah.
Bro, I reminisce.
That trumpet alone is peak video game. Like the fanfare is peak video game. If somebody were to make a song with that, like that instrumental, I bet you they get so much great reaction. Of course, they gotta ask permission from Troy, but if they ever were to get that on like a nice track, I'm listening to that shit in my car the whole time. I'm down the street, bro. That's just crazy. So that's top 3. Top 3 is right there.
I got you.
Number 2 for you, dog.
My number 2. While I do love the Pokemon series, my favorite is Pokemon Silver. Because 1, it was the very first Pokemon game I ever played. And I remember getting it in elementary school. I traded one of my classmates. I gave him Zelda. I forget which one it was. It was like one where you traveled back in time. And I got Pokemon Silver. And that was when I was like, yo, Pokemon's kind of dope. And ever since that, like my first starter was Totodile, and I got Feraligatr. And ever since that day, I've bought and played every single Pokemon game they have ever made. Just because I love this series. Now, obviously, they've had issues with some of the games, like Sword and Shield. There's complaints. But Pokemon Silver was where it all started. I absolutely loved that when we had Ruby and Sapphire, as you pointed out. Great games. I love Pokemon Emerald too, just because it was kind of the same as Ruby and Sapphire, but just a little bit changed up, which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then there's Fire Red and Leaf Green, which in my opinion are probably almost the hardest games in the series. I think people always say Diamond and Pearl were the hardest.
You sure about that?
That's usually what people will say because of Cynthia. This champion alone was just a pain in the ass.
Wait. You said Fire Red and Leaf Green were the hardest?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Why?
I think at that point there was kind of like an experience point kind of drought in that game. So like if you played through the game normally, by the time you got to the Elite Four, I think you were around like the mid 40s when they were in the 50s. So you were kind of like under level generally when you got to the end.
To be fair, majority of those games you're under level. To be fair.
True.
Right?
True.
By the time you see the first Dugong and shit in the Elite Four, they're as strong as your starter.
Yeah.
Which is why oftentimes when you get to the Elite Four, you often bring a legendary on the way.
Because you got to cheat, bro.
You know what I'm saying? What was it? First gen, you always bought the 3 legendary birds.
True.
Right? Second gen with Silver, you brought Entei, Raikou, or Suicune if you could. Or you bought Lugia. Yeah. So that's that. Third, you literally had Groudon and Kyogre in your party.
Nah, bro, that wasn't the cheat though. That wasn't the cheat. You want to know what the cheat was?
Ooh.
Before you go to the Elite Four, you go to the tower and you Master Ball Rayquaza.
No, you couldn't. In Ruby and Sapphire, it was after Elite Four.
You're right.
Emerald, you could do that. Okay. But that's the thing. Like, never use the Master Ball on stationary though. Remember that. That was a rule. You don't use the Master Ball on stationary targets. Use them on the Latios and Latias that be running.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? Because they a pain in the ass.
Exactly.
Because if you didn't have the Master Ball, you had to get a Pokemon with Mean
Look or Arena Trap or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
I see. So Ruby Sapphire was that. Diamond and Pearl was after Ruby Sapphire, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you literally had the gods of time and space.
Yep.
You know, do you see what I'm talking about? We always had a legendary because we knew the team that we were originally going to go were going to be weak as shit. Well, to be fair, first gen, if you had a Lapras, you kind of actually made it, to be fair. Lapras and Snorlax were kind of cheat codes in that game. And Dragonite. Dragonite also.
Bro, and if Gen 2, Dragon was just broken in Gen
2. Oh, no doubt.
They could learn anything. They had one weakness, and that was it.
Yeah, you couldn't do nothing. So you said so Pokemon, right? For your top 2? Okay. Okay.
See number 2.
See, this is kind of hard. It's kind of hard, fam. All right. So my top 2. Number 2, Mortal Kombat series.
Okay.
I have played every single Mortal Kombat game you could think of. Every single one. From Sega Genesis to Super Nintendo to PS1, PS2, Xbox, all of them. I played every single one. And they literally do get better as time went on. Actually, this is one of the series in which they know where they messed up and fixed it. Hear me out. Mortal Kombat 1 to 3 was 2D playing, right? You move back and forth like this, right? Mortal Kombat 4 was when they introduced the 3D format, right? After that, until Armageddon, it was always that 3D format, right? The reason why people didn't like it is because of how easy it was to dodge people just by moving left and right, like up and down. So then the reboot happens and they bring it back to the 2D format. So now it's combo based rather than evasion controller based, right? Then on top of that, their fatalities get better and better every single year, bro. Like, think about it. Mortal Kombat 9, they introduced bone breaking, right? The X-rays and shit, they introduced that. By 10, you're splitting people's heads open. By 11, you're seeing the intestine in the most definitive way you ever seen intestines before.
You can bisect people,
right? There are times, and they have some of these things where like they have the doctors react. There's times where they cut open the face, right, and you see the brain, and they literally go, "Yeah, I like this because they got every section of the brain correct." Do you know how much fucking effort you have to do to put? They have that the heart. They got every chamber of the heart correct. They got the intestines correct. They're like, yeah, the lower intestine. They're not really all separated and they're smushed together. No, they're all sticky together. So if they were to like explode out of your body, you'll see a little bit of it, but all that blood is actually doo doo. I'm like, that's some shit. Literally though, that's some shit. But that's some shit, dog. But yeah,
they did their homework.
They did their homework. It's so popular in pop culture. But one of the best memories I had, I was in Montserrat and I had Deadly Alliance, right? And my cousin wanted to fight me in Mortal Kombat. Now, mind you, she ain't never played Mortal Kombat on the PS2, right? I was the only one that had a PS2. So I'm like, I bet, right? You know what I'm saying? I was Sub-Zero. She was Nitara, right? I think the Dracula girl. I ripped out her spine. And you know what she did? She threw the controller down, ran to her mom, my aunt, and said, "He ripped out my spine." And she was crying, bro. And I'm sitting here like, damn. Damn, right? Everybody started laughing at her and shit. Like, and mind you, I think she was like 11 at the time or like 10 at the time. So it was pretty funny there. Oh my god. So definitely Mortal Kombat, second best game series all time.
Okay.
So let's go for the number ones, fam. Hold up. But you answered number 1. We gotta do it again. 2 games in which you wish was on this top 10 list now. This is where your honorable mentions come in. 2 of them. Actually, no. Make it generous. 3 games.
All right, let me add. Oh shit! Hold on. Let me add one more. Okay. All right, so 3 others that I wish were on this list. First of all, Yoshi's Island. If you had a Game Boy Advance and you played most of the Mario games, you probably played Yoshi's Island. Because throughout the games, you always know, oh, Yoshi's that little green dinosaur that Mario always rides, and then you jump off when you need to get across a chasm, and you let him die. But now Yoshi's Island, it was a nice change up to actually play as Yoshi. It was fun. You could just replay it over and over again. There was a different color Yoshis. Then the fun little transformations where you could turn into like a submarine, you could turn into an airplane, you turn into a car, a train. The little power-ups that Yoshi could get. The bosses were fun. It was a silly game, but you could just play it over and over again.
Okay.
NBA Street Volume 2. I wanted to put it on my list, but there's too many damn games to put on a list.
I know. Yeah.
honestly, like my favorite part of the game was the customization and the fact that couldn't you buy skills, like you could buy certain
You buy
crossovers or
certain, yep,
tricks.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, you do.
and I remember my character. First thing I did, I made him like 7'6" like Yao Ming, and like 330 pounds.
Oh yeah, there was no goaltending in that game.
No, so I would just stand in front of like a 5'2" guy and just like swat his shit every time. It was hilarious. But because of that, my guy couldn't dribble for shit, so people would steal it back all the time. So that was the trade-off.
Okay.
It was just a dumb fun game. And then my third one, Need for Speed Underground 2 was what got me into cars.
Okay.
Bro,
Okay.
the street racing, bro, the
Okay.
car customization, the drifting, the soundtrack on that game was good too. If you played it, solid game.
I got you. All right, shit. I'm gonna give you a quick three then, right?
All right.
Number one, Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury, Game Boy Advance. This is of course, this is technically the legacy of Goku 3, right? Technically speaking, this is when they had that original soundtrack where it's like duh, 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 like that shit. That's how it opened up. It followed the story to a T, especially with like when you can get Super Saiyan 3 and shit like that. I got you. No worries, no worries. I got you. So that's definitely one. Number two, because I know you said Need for Speed, Most Wanted. Not this new shit that they got out here talking about some damn Most Wanted. No, I'm talking about my Most Wanted, where it was always fall every single time, and it was for some reason it looked like it was about to rain, but it never did, and the cops always chase your ass. That's definitely number two. Number three, another racing game, Midnight Club 3, Double Edition Remix, bro.
Because you either played Need for Speed Underground 2 or Midnight Club. Yep.
Oh my god. Double Edition Remix had the best songs, had the best races, had the best customization, bro. You always played with your friends. You always drove your car leaning to the left and shit like that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look, after this, I'm gonna look it up on Steam. If Steam got it, I'm playing that shit. I'll kid you not. Alright, so number one, best games all time. Number one. Because I know what mine is.
Alright, for me, my experience growing up, number one on my list is the Halo series, but specifically the first Halo game.
The very first.
The very first, Halo CE. One, it was actually, I played COD before that. But it was the first time it's like, oh, I could just shoot aliens and play as like this badass super soldier. Like, the cool factor of being Master Chief in the game. Like, people were like, I love being the main character. You loved being the Master Chief. Every time you walked into a room when there's people, they were like, oh, damn, that's the Master Chief. Yo, like, what's up? He's so cool. The Covenant were terrified of you. They were so scared of what you had done throughout the war. They called you Demon. That's how scared they were. And then from Halo, the first one, we got Halo 2, which made the huge jump. It was the game of the year when it came out, too. It got game of the year. They introduced dual wielding. And that blew the game to a whole new level. I have replayed Halo 2 so many times, it's not even funny. Halo 3 was good, and I loved it. It didn't have the same wow factor. But then out of the trilogy, it goes like Halo CE, Halo 2. I skip over Halo 3, it's kind of farther up on my list. But then we got Halo Reach. What was great about that game?
Reach to me was my best one.
It was it's on my list because one, like by Halo 3, I was like, don't get me wrong, I like the Master Chief, but I want to see more. They introduced a whole new cast of characters, and that's also when I started reading the books of Halo. That's when I was like, oh, wait, there's a lot more people in the Master Chief. Like, that's when I introduced you. There's different Spartans. There was a whole bunch of different viewpoints of the war. Like, while the Chief was here, hey, this was happening on Reach. And then it turns out Reach actually leads into the first Halo game. And you're like, oh, shit, it's the Master Chief. He was there. Great campaign. Tragic as hell. It was sad, but it kept you going with the game. Had a phenomenal soundtrack. Halo games always have a good soundtrack, but Halo Reach had one of the best soundtracks in my opinion.
Okay.
Multiplayer for Halo 1 and 2 was good, but in my opinion, Halo Reach exploded to the forefront because they added assassinations.
Yep.
Bro, I can't tell you, it's like there's 3 people there. I shouldn't go fight them. I would do it just so I could assassinate someone, bro.
You put the cloak on and shit,
bro. You put the cloak, walk up, and just knife to the chest.
Yep.
Done.
that's the issue though. Like people know you're around because their map starts to fluctuate like multiple people around them.
Yep.
So it kind of adds this orientation, but at the same time gives them a warning.
And like, and ever since that day, like they've never not included assassinations because they know people love them,
Yeah.
and they've only gotten better. Like some like Halo 5 wasn't as good as some of the other ones, but bro, they still just went above and beyond with the assassinations, bro. It's like you gotta love it what they did with it.
All right. You ready for number one?
You.
Dragon Ball Z
Mm.
Budokai 3.
Okay.
Budokai 3, not Tenkaichi. Alright, everybody love to say Tenkaichi the best one. No, it's not. It's Budokai 3. You wanna know why it's Budokai 3? Because there's three main reasons, right? Number one, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Alright? Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta special was so disrespectful. Like, it was probably one of the most disrespectful fucking specials of all time. You know what? Hold up. Let me see. No, I'm not gonna put it up. I'm not gonna put it up because I don't want to get copyrighted for some dumb shit. But, but, so basically, his special was literally he charges at you, disappears behind you, with his arms folded, doesn't even look at you, and he tells you, "I'm here." Right? You turn around, shocked as shit, and mind you, his back is still towards you. You start punching him, and all you hear is metal, which means you ain't even hurting him. He's blinking and shit. He don't give a shit. He just chilling. When he's finally done, elbows you to the neck, kicks you to the ground, charges up his Big Bang Kamehameha, right? Best move, one of the best moves of all time. If you get your charge thing right, he says, he's not done yet or some shit. Sends out basically another huge blast, destroys the world. Like, that's disrespectful. That's number one. Number two is the fact that there's a lot more characters, right? Every character has a very special, right? I think except Goten and Trunks. Little small Goten, little small Trunks, they don't got special, right? And it's kind of understandable. They were never truly established to have a special move in the beginning, so I kind of get that. Number three, the story was open world technically. Right, you can go to different places and stuff like that. You can go unlock certain things. They did include Broly into the game. Broly's shit was also disrespectful. He took your face and like this shit was crazy. Again, they implemented Super Saiyan 4. They implemented the fusion. You get the fusion wrong, you fuck up. Right, you press the buttons wrong, you fuck up. Tournaments were nice. Playing with your friends was always great. And then it has too much replay value for a Dragon Ball Z game. Because Tenkaichi, right, it's all about open world fighting, right? Like open arena fighting. But you literally have only 4 moves. You literally have that's it. Every Tenkaichi game you have 4 moves. And it's the button. It's literally triangle, X, circle, square. Like that. Or Y, A, X, B. Right? When you hold down L2 or LT, that shows the moves. In Budokai, you have your own special move. You have your own special rush. You have 2 moves, and you have certain combos. So everybody has a different combo. Everybody has different moves. Oh my god! And then on top of that as well, right? You can unlock people like Bardock. Right? Remember, Bardock's thing wasn't fleshed out either. But Bardock's special was emotional. Right? Holds his hand out, says all his dead partners' names, goes ham, and he turns into the fucking great ape, like his face turns into like the great ape, proceeds to whoop your ass. And then guess what? If you're playing on a level where it's not the world tournament, guess what? Blow up the earth. Like every move blew up the earth, bro. Every move. So Budokai 3 definitely my biggest one. Budokai 1 is just up there with nostalgia. But Budokai 3 definitely the best game I ever played all time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like Xenoverse, like Dragon Ball Xenoverse, had a lot of potential, but like I don't know, I feel like they kind of squandered a little bit.
The open world, the open arena prospect is fine. It's just boring. Like it just gets boring after a while. because you have to focus so much on locking on your opponent too, right? Meanwhile, why do you think they brought in Dragon Ball Z Fighters?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because they knew their best sellers weren't Tenkaichis. I don't think their best sellers were Tenkaichi. I think it was the original Budokai series, right?
Probably.
1, 2, and 3. I mean, I could look it up after, but that's where you had the replay value. When you had Tenkaichi 1, 2, or 3, you stopped playing them within a certain time. When you had Budokai 1, 2, and 3, you didn't stop playing them. When your friends came over, y'all ain't stopped playing them because you wanted to see who could be who, and because of like the combos and all that stuff, and especially like the Kai consumption, because you consume Kai when you dodge, right? Oh yeah, and they also implemented that thing too. Like if you pressed A or X in the right time, like the dodge button in the right time, you actually dodge the opponent's combo. So it's like whoop, 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 like you actually dodged it. So it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there, no doubt. But well, yeah, guys. Sorry about the early in the video. I'm gonna try to see if I can edit the.
You probably can.
Yeah, I think I can edit the earlier sound. But then this goes directly to post, so I'm not sure.
Actually, I still gotta finish Xenoverse 2. You know what I didn't do? They had the Jiren DLC. I didn't do that yet.
Hey, look at that. They got DLCs. See what I'm talking about? They got DLCs in Xenoverse 2. Oh shit! But that is it for today. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Again, I'm sorry for the beginning. I didn't know the thing had a fucking volume. Like when I put it in, it didn't say to control the volume, so that was pretty. Appreciate y'all for coming through though. We will be back next Tuesday. We're gonna have a serious topic next Tuesday. And be sure to tune into my NBA podcast on Thursday, where I'll be talking about NBA defense and flopping, etc., etc., etc. Shit that makes the game boring. With that, Jared, any last words?
Shaggy was high and he ate dog treats.
Nah, Shaggy is a nasty motherfucker. Anyway, I want y'all to have a good night and stay blessed. That's the motherfucker Shaggy.